Florida's Gulf Coast is bracing for Hurricane Milton, a Category 5 storm expected to bring dangerous storm surge, power outages, and all this coming as the region is still recovering from Hurricane Helene.
I'm just being proactive rather than reactive.
I have water, I have canned goods, I have flashlights, I have pretty much everything else I need.
Milton is expected to remain a hurricane as it moves across central Florida. Officials are urging those in the evacuation zones to leave immediately. More than 40 LA City firefighters, including swiftwater rescue specialists, are joining forces to combat Hurricane Milton in the southeast. Let's take a live look right now at Sarasota, Florida, where it is just after 9:30. It looks pretty calm there right now, but it's not going to be that way in a couple days. For more on this, I'm joined by Captain Adam Van Gerpen of the LA City Fire Department, also joined by our chief meteorologist, Adam Kruger. Both of you have lots of experiences with hurricanes. Let's start with this, Adam. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Talk to us about what firefighters are going to be doing there.
All right, so right now we do have some firefighters who are in the air right now, making their way over to Florida, and we also have some who are traveling by ground. So as they arrive, what they're going to do is they're going to do an assessment, and they're going to be determined where they're going to be located, the best place that they need to be. So we have swift water capabilities, we have search and rescue, we have dogs, we have canines that are out there that are doing searches, and we have hazmat technicians. So we're sending a very robust team with a lot of experience.
And LA is known as one of the best swiftwater rescue crews in the world, right?
Yes, our swiftwater team has a lot of experience, whether it's locally or when we get deployed.
And you've done this. You went to Hurricane Irma, you went to Hurricane Harvey. Can you talk about what it's like on the ground, what you saw there?
Yeah, so this is very similar how we're having back-to-back hurricanes. So when we deployed in 2017 to Hurricane Harvey in Texas, we were out there in our boats. We're doing searching in a grid. We're searching house to house, and then we're uploading them back to FEMA, and so we're putting them on our machines, on our GPS. Then we would go back in, and we were rescuing people, and we were also rescuing pets. So we rescued a lot of dogs, and we load them in the boats, and they'd give hugs and kisses. They were so happy to be saved.
I was actually reporting there and met up with some of the crews there back there in Houston at the time. I know you were the chief meteorologist in Houston at the time, now with us. Talk to us about how bad this is, because we've seen some of the local forecasters emotional when talking about this.
Yeah, and just a quick question I have too is I know you're there for the safety of others, but as far as your team, I mean, and I've seen firsthand, and you have as well, how messed up an area can be after something like this. So, you know, it complicates everything from you don't have cell service to just maybe internal communication. I'm just curious how you guys kind of navigate
we bring our own satellite communications. We have our own radios, and we have our radio comms people, so they set up high points, and then we communicate through satellites. So when we were in Orlando, we went into the convention center, and we waited out the hurricane. It blew through, and then they dispatched us where we were needed the most.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, we do bring our own communications. We're like a small city when we travel.
Yeah, and you need that. I mean, it's just, you know, it's unlike anything. If you've never been in an area right after a disaster, the power lines are down. You can't even navigate. So it's tricky, to say the least.
I mean, yeah. Talk about this storm compared to other storms and what makes this one potentially so dangerous.
I mean, one thing that I think got a lot of people's attention is how quickly it intensified. There's that rapid intensification term, which we've heard a lot in recent years, especially climate change kind of playing a role in that. But this was just beyond if there is a such thing, a typical rapid intensification. I mean, it went from a tropical storm to a Category 5 in a very short amount of time. One of the most rapidly intensifying storms in history in the Atlantic whole basin. So that's getting a lot of people's attention, I think, in a good way, because when you hear there's a Category 5 out there, you know, maybe some people that otherwise would not have evacuated if it was like a Category 1, maybe now they're doing that, and maybe there's a silver lining in the fact that it's this bad this early.
Because you've seen this, they'll say, we're not going to come get you at a certain point, and a lot of people risk it. And then they get trapped, and then they're wondering why nobody comes to get them. Yeah. Hopefully some people listen on this one.
Well, and that's the same with a fast-moving brush fire. It's the same with a flood. It's the same with a hurricane. That's the #1 thing that we tell people is when you're ordered to evacuate, you need to evacuate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then you're the ones that have to go in there and try to
we go in there to find them, and that's, you know, everyone's risking their lives to go in and help with the evacuation. And that's what we're trained to do also.
And we're going to be seeing crews from all over the country headed there, I'm sure.
Yes, we have 28 USAR task forces, and so in California, so we also have sent a couple from California. So LA County is going to be going out. We have a Northern California one, and then Washington Task Force 1 also is being deployed out there.
And what are the areas of greatest concern for you?
I mean, the Tampa area is just right in the middle of this cone of uncertainty. Obviously, it can deviate a little bit in its path, but I mean, such a high population there. And that's already, regardless of where this moves, that's going to be a big storm surge concern is right there. So that's literally the ocean rising potentially 10 to 15 feet right along the coast there around Tampa Bay.
All right. Well, we thank you for coming in and wish all of your men and women the best of luck. And hopefully we'll get an update on how they're doing out there in a moment. Adam, I know we turn to you now for your more detailed forecast of what's happening right now.
Sure, and we've been showing the map of where the storm is and where it's expected to go. I want to give you kind of a breakdown more so as far as what a computer model is showing of how this might look. So again, you see the numbers here on the map. So those are the categories of hurricane. It's a 5 right now. It's expected to be around a 3 or a 4 when it makes landfall. Either way, that's major, and that's going to lead to some major problems. Here's a closer look into Florida, and again, you can see where Tampa is. Yes, the cone of uncertainty stretches from a little north of there to a little south of there. Either way, though, this is there's no way this misses Florida. I mean, it will hit Florida as a major hurricane. Those are the forecast winds, 125, maybe a little stronger when it makes landfall. Here's that model I was talking about just to kind of visualize the movement of this. So the outer rain bands are already going to be a concern by Wednesday morning. Those will be lashing Florida with some strong wind gusts and heavy rain coming through. But the center of the storm, look at this, by Wednesday night, crossing right across the middle of the state, maybe right near Tampa Bay. But by Thursday morning, the center is already exiting off the east coast of Florida. If there's some good news here, it's the fact that this is in and out relatively quick. There's going to be a lot of rain. There's going to be the storm surge. There's all the complications that come when you talk about major hurricane winds. That will create some big problems as well. I just want to show you outside of this, though, it's actually unusually quiet for a large part of the nation. The 7-day rain outlook shows very little rain nationwide. Northern California up to the northern part of the West Coast getting a little bit. But here we are with dry weather. And another topic as far as our local weather goes is the fact that our heat wave is backing down after today. This high pressure getting out of the way, that's bringing the heat. And that's also the same thing, by the way, causing that inversion, which has been making for some really kind of nasty, dreary weather near the coast, especially late in the day when that air kind of gets drawn in from the coast. So we see that in some spots right now. But as we continue later into the week and into the weekend, we've got more of a trough of low pressure that will be affecting our weather as opposed to the high, which means overall cooler temperatures. And even tomorrow, we're going to be doing better as far as the real intense heat. Still on the warm side, though. Notice for LA, Inland OC, we're in the mid-80s. We do expect those 70s, though, as we get into Sunday and Monday. And I'll show you real quick here as we look at the mountains, 70s, but maybe 60s by Sunday. High deserts, low deserts. Yes, we see those hot numbers, but at least those numbers are on the way down.
Fox 11 Weather, sponsored by your SoCal Hyundai dealers.